one man, one passion, all legend. David Cummings, yes, a living legend. He's not Mel Gibson, but he's still a lethal weapon. Throw a leg kick, and yes, he's gonna check it. If you don't cover your face, the man is gonna wreck it. Coach ain't sweet like apple pie. If you get in the ring, you get your ass kicked in Muay Thai. It's all about the conundrum down under. You wonder about the lightning, but you better be concerned about the thunder, the thunder, the thunder, the thunder, the thunder. Coach Chuck Harrison, there'll never be no comparison. You're live on the show, sit back and have a listen. But I want to get it from a legend like you. What do you think the problems are in boxing? Because, and I'm gonna tell you why I asked this question, okay? Okay, when I watch MMA, okay, we get the fights that we want to see. When I watch Muay Thai, okay, I watched that whole lion fight card. Some of the fights, I thought were a little bit lopsided, but most of the fights on that fight card, the competition level was where it needed to be. The fights were entertaining. The fights were compelling. I mean, you seemed like the competitors were really competing, and. Right. I just want to ask, what do you think? Like, why do you think boxing we can't get those fights we want to see?
Well, I mean, there's a couple of reasons. I think the main reason, the night before Angela's fight at Foxwoods, I went to the DeBella Entertainment show, which was on Thursday night, and Angela's fight was on Friday night. And we watched 4 of the fights, and we got up and left. They were so bad. You have a guy that's 7-0 fighting a guy that's 0-4. And we see this in Puerto Rico a lot, too. One guy got his clothes at Walmart, the other guy comes in with a flag on his back and glitter shorts. You know who's going to win before the fight starts. There's so much emphasis on record building for that big payday in boxing that they've really lost track of just getting better. And so you may have a guy that's 14-0, but he's not a real 14-0. He's fought 14 bumps. And, these guys are really holding out for that big payday. I think for boxing to become what it was when it used to be great, you've got to pay those guys coming up some money. And forget about giving these Mayweathers $30-40 million, and let's disperse that money a little bit so these up-and-coming hungry guys aren't out selling tickets so they can eat, and they can focus on fighting. Also, there's no reason a boxing commission should allow an 0-5 fighter to fight an 11-0 fighter. To me, that's an injustice to the sport. Neither fighter gets better. One fighter might as well hit a heavy bag, and the other fighter just takes unnecessary punishment. It was almost a foregone conclusion who was going to win those fights before it started, and you saw fights getting stopped really for no reason. Just that basically the referee was maybe bored. Fighter wasn't hurt, maybe took one heavy shot, they stopped the fight. And when you see the lion fights the day after, people's faces gushed open, taking heavy shots. There was no thought of even stopping any of those fights. So I think that's one really bad thing with boxing. I think the other thing that's really hurting boxing, and this is the same thing that's hurt boxing over the last 50 years, is the promoter's greed. The Muay Thai fighters simply won't allow it because there's not enough money in our sport for there to be that greed yet. You've got Scott Kemp with Lion Fights. He is genuinely interested in finding the very best 2 fighters in each weight class and putting them against each other. And he's willing to jump over barrels to make that happen. And even at the most elite levels in boxing, I do not see that until there's tens of millions of dollars involved. And even then, you have to question if it's the best fight they're putting together. Tonight, you've got Canelo fighting. He's a good fighter, but I don't believe he's fighting the best out there tonight. I think he's fighting somebody that I think all of us agree that most likely he's going to win this fight. Well, who wants to pay for a fight when we already know the conclusion, right? I mean, I know that I'm not going to pay the $50. I'll wait till it's free next week. And it's not that I'm not interested in the fight, I'm just not interested enough to pay $50 to watch it. Now, what the UFC and MMA has done, and a lot of it's because they can afford it with the fighter purses, with the exception of like the CM Punk crap.
That was terrible.
It's terrible. Now they pretty much put together. You lose 2 or 3 fights in the UFC, you get fired. So there aren't 0-5 guys in there. You only have people that are up and coming, or then they have to go down to a second tier organization and they work their way back to the UFC. Now, And a mistake I think that the UFC is making is they simply have too many shows now. I'm not going to pay for a pay-per-view every single week. And that's almost where we're at right now. So I would caution the UFC from oversaturation, or that may be similar issues 5 years, 10 years down the road that boxing is dealing with now.
Yeah. Now I think one good spot, one good bright point in boxing. I like what Al Heyman is doing with the PBC series, and he's putting some pretty good quality fights, in my opinion, back on regular TV. And I think he's trying to, because he's actually, you know who he is if you've been around for combat sports. He's actually been to this city, and he won't get on the camera. I've actually had a chance to talk to him, and he's trying to set up. He's going from he's going from U.S. city to U.S. city, trying to get arenas to buy into. Look, I want to get these fights on TV. I want to get these fighters exposure. And I've seen a lot of young up and coming fighters because of what he's doing with this PBC network. I mean, have you seen many of those fights?
I have actually. I record all of them because they're very competitive fights. It actually reminds me of HBO's Boxing After Dark. Awesome series. This is very similar to that, where he's giving people a showcase that you might not know their name yet. And there's guys like Superman fighting on there, Superman Adonis, who I think are extremely talented, but your household person doesn't know who they are yet. Maybe all the boxing world knows who they are, but Joe Blow sitting at their house doesn't know their name. And yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I think that the PBC is doing a great job, and I think they're continuing to do a good job. And man, I love boxing. I would love to see a resurgence of boxing. I think there's too many people that think it's us against them, and that's silly. If you're a true combat sports fan, you love combat sports, period. I like to watch the sumo wrestlers, so I mean, to me, boxing is exciting, man. I think it's a great sport, and where some people might watch Mayweather and think he's boring. Man, I think the guy's brilliant. I think he's a true pugilist, and that's what boxing is about. It's not fighting. And people get that jaded a little bit. They say, I paid for a fight. No, you didn't. You paid for boxing. Boxing is pugilism. It's skill and craft. And if you're a good enough boxer, you should be able to lay your hands on somebody maybe 15 times in a round and make them miss and still win that round. And that's Mayweather. His shots that he does land with are meaningful, they're complete, and they're right where they're supposed to be. And a lot of people don't think so. I still think Mayweather would beat Triple G. I still do. And I do. I think Triple G is the harder hitting guy. I think he is the younger guy. But I don't think he would catch Mayweather. I really don't. I think it would be another 12-round boring-ass fight with Mayweather winning soundly.
Coach, listen, I'm gonna have to, I gotta agree with you, man, because I'm gonna tell you why I agree with you. Because I don't know if you keep up with YouTube. I think you're a busy man. I don't think you have enough time, but it's been an ongoing saga, man. It's been an ongoing saga in YouTube land. Boxing, true, with diehard boxing fans, but a lot of people think that people just hate Gennady Golovkin, and really, I don't even hate the guy. I just said I don't like his resume. And I've said that Mayweather or even Andre Ward could possibly beat the guy in 12 rounds. I mean, I'm glad you say it, because I'm gonna tell you why. Because, and it's a big racial thing going on. And I'll just be honest with you, it's a racial thing. They think guys, of my, me being black, they think I hate Triple G because he's a white guy. But I'm a Canelo Alvarez fan, and I ask these people, how you gonna explain that, But
Right.
and you just kind of, okay. I mean, you're an expert. You're a legend in the sport, and you boxed, you did kickboxing, you coach MMA, you do it all. So, okay, I don't have much else to say, man. I can't say much else.
And look, it's not that I'm not a Triple G fan. I think he's a good fighter. In fact, rumor is he knocked out Kovalev in training just a couple of weeks ago, which is. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard he beat the living hell out of Kovalev.
I heard. And Kovalev's no joke, so Triple G is definitely not a joke. I just think he's a little bit predictable, and I think he's a little bit on the slow side. And with a guy like Mayweather, you just can't do that. Just can't do that. Mayweather is just, he's been doing this since birth, and he knows what you're going to do before you're going to do it. and has the most amazing sense of awareness in boxing. He just does that little crease just enough that things eke by, and everybody made a big deal. Cotto gave him a bloody nose. So what is boxing? Big deal, right? Big deal. Yeah, he landed a shot, but how many shots did he throw that Mayweather just beautifully slipped out of the way? So, man, I may hate to say this, but I'm a Mayweather fan in his skill. You just can't take it away from an undefeated guy like that. No matter what the critics want to say, no matter who they think he ducked, he still came back and beat all of them. Yeah, I just can't. Personally, that's a different story. But in that boxing ring, I think he was probably one of the best of our generation as far as true pugilism.
Okay. Well, Coach, I mean, you gave the fans an earful, and let me tell you something. Any one of you fanboys, I triple dare you. You can't challenge this man. You can't challenge anything. You can't challenge him. Okay? When you have 24 years in the ring, when you have 13 titles, then you can come talk to this man about anything. Right now, you guys on the keyboard, you can't talk to him. I'm sorry. But Coach, please, for everybody that follow you, and you're gonna have some newfound fans, you got to tell people where to get. I'm gonna put your information up on the screen, but I would love for you to tell them as well.
Well, great. It's on Facebook. It's Ajarn Thunder, AJARN Thunder. You can also find me through my gym, Thunder Muay Thai MMA, and just Google me in San Juan, Puerto Rico. It comes up, and really awesome. Love to hear from anybody, and I appreciate the time.
Man, his whole resume, when you Google him, it's like 1,000 different things come up about this guy, man. You type in David Thunder Cummings, and you got to spell it right, because I know some of you guys can't spell. You got to spell it right. It's up on the screen. A lot of stuff come up about this man. You retired in 2007, though, right?
2008.
Okay, 2008. Okay. Well, Coach, man, I appreciate the time, man. I mean, I appreciate it, man, because I was like, Angela, I want to talk to your coach, but man, I'm finna be nervous. This guy's done everything, but definitely, man, you're a class act. Your gym, you definitely got a lot of young fighters, and I know you genuinely care about the fighters that you're teaching this craft to. You care about them, because if you didn't, I can look at your training videos, man. You own a couple of people, man. You stay on them, but you get the best out of these people. And Coach, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you and your time.
Appreciate it.
Okay. All right, this is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison, with David Thunder Cummings. I'm done. What are you guys waiting on? Follow this man on Twitter. Follow this man on Facebook and Instagram,
yes,
right?
You have an Instagram as well, yes.
Okay, follow him on Instagram. It's going to be up on the screen. I'm done. What are you waiting on?